All right, we're recording now. All right, so welcome, first of all, to the team, and this is going to be day one of the coaching. What I want to emphasize in the very beginning is to make sure you guys have everything set up for building our Numis business, and to make sure that you understand what attraction marketing is about, and everything that you have to have in place in order for this to work effectively. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. I know some of you on here may already have a lot of this set up, but I think it's important that you watch all this because there might have been something that you missed, or I might be able to tell you why something is very important. That you need, that quite possibly that you might have not taken care of. So I always like to start as soon as you sign up for Numis is to get into MLSP. And in order to do that, obviously this video is going to be put on our training blog. So I'm going to put the link below this video in order to sign up into MLSP. The very first thing though that I want to make sure that you do is if you do log into MLSP, and I don't know why this is already running slow, I just got a new internet connection. Alright, so when you come in here and you click this join button, you always want to make sure that you see Malfa. It's kind of going slow. Let me turn off some of the stuff that should, like the only wire and all that, and let me turn Skype off because I think sometimes that, oops, Skype was off. Sometimes this interferes with the connection. Okay, so see how you see Malfa up here at the top? That's how you want to make sure that you land on our team. Now, that also is for you guys to remember. The best way to make sure if you do sign somebody up into MLSP in the future, you want to make sure that your user ID is showing here. And the reason for that is because MLSP will cookie to, so say Bill was on, somebody else's MLSP, and he came over here and actually clicked join, it's going to cookie him to whoever's MLSP page he was cookied to. And it's not last touch or anything like that. It's whoever he's been on pretty recently, basically. So if you ever send somebody to your MLSP affiliate link, so mine is like malfa.mlsp.com. Yours would be your username.mlsp.com. The best way to avoid people getting cookied to somebody else is to tell them that when they go here and they click join, that they see your username right here. And if they don't, just tell them to type it in right there, and then that way when they fill out this form, they're going to land on your MLSP team. You can also send them this link. That's what I usually do. I take them right to this page, the sign up page, and I send them this link right here, and I tell them to be sure. So I want to make sure you guys know that, because signing up people in MLSP is important. You want to sign up your team in there, and you want to also just get people in there so you can, if they don't join your primary, you can at least start making some affiliate income also. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to assume everybody's now signed up. If you're not, make sure you're signed up. And we're just going to log in. And at the very beginning, it's not going to ask you for a security code, but we'll go through that in a moment. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through this, but I want to tell you something that's very important. Always kind of pay attention to this home page. I think it's important that you see what kind of updates are happening here. You've got member orientation training calls here. These are great for, you've been on this, Bill, right?
I have.
Yeah,
guys, what Michelle's saying here on the right, they are basically updating you as to any upcoming or future event. These events are typically webinars or trainings. I did this member orientation probably a few months back. It's one of the MLSP team members who basically is walking you through step by step exactly what to do. They're answering questions, they're going along. I highly recommend that you A, opt into one of these member orientations, and B, oftentimes come back here and look at what they have here posted. These are upcoming training events specifically designed for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's basic training, orientation training. Other times it's marketing specific training, maybe a YouTube training or a prospecting training or a Facebook marketing training. They're different all the time, but they're huge value. They're free. They're there. You just gotta plug in, opt in, and start taking advantage.
Yeah, and this is what I was going to say. You'll always see it'll show the week. So this is the Wednesday night webinars. You'll always want to get on that. You want to get your prospects to that too, and I'll get into that in a moment. Prospecting Bootcamp, what this is, in fact, I'm doing one next week. This is where I do live lead calling. So you can also, like, I don't know who's doing it this week, but you could click on it. Tracy Walker's doing it this week. So what you're doing is if you want to hear people call their leads live, this is a great thing to get into. So these are trainings that are happening this week. I highly want to encourage you to, get into these, because this is what's going to keep you in the game. It's going to keep you active. It's going to keep you in the loop of knowing what's going on with MLSP, how to utilize the system. And then these training webinars are going to be from, I've done a lot of them, but you're going to see a lot of 6- and 7-figure earners sharing their secrets. And a lot of times, I know maybe some of you have seen they're selling a product like I did last week. Well, that's not always what it's about. So there are times where you're going to learn, quite a bit of information on how to market. And then these are just recent updates here. They haven't had a whole lot since November, but, pay attention to that. So once you log in, the very first thing that I always recommend you doing is do exactly what it says here, is start here. And then what you want to do is do step 1. And this is so important to follow these steps, because I know, being in this for over a year, that I see so many people come back to me a couple of months later overwhelmed, lost, confused, and if they had just gone through these steps and really paid attention, I know for a fact they would not be calling me frustrated, confused, and lost. So do yourself a favor and just do this part. I mean, if it's your business and if you're taking it seriously, these are things that you've got to grab a hold of in order to be able to successfully build a business and to understand what MLSP is doing for you. This is a powerful, powerful system. And it works, but you've got to set a few good bricks down to build a solid foundation so your business is going to be able to do well. So I always say go through this first by actually watching it, because you're going to see, this will talk about introduction to attraction marketing. This is what you're doing, basically. This defines what attraction marketing is. This defines what you're going to be doing to build your Numis business. Number 2, this is setting up your MLSP profile. I don't recommend you watch this and then pause it and go set up. I want you guys to watch it all the way through, each one. Even if you think you know this stuff, I promise you there will be little nuggets in here that you're going to want to make sure you've caught. This is the introduction to the MLSP system campaigns. All that is introducing you to all the websites in here that you can use to market. Step number 4 is create leads by sharing your website. So same thing, they're going to talk about creating those leads, how to generate leads, how to start sending prospects to your websites, how to build your list. And that's the key here, guys, is being in Numis, you want to build a list, because that's where the money is. And I'm going to get into that in a moment. Step 5, begin to build your network. What you're doing here is you've generated some leads maybe at this point, and now it's time to start building that network. It's time to, get people on the phone, share these techniques with them, get them into MLSP, and then you can recruit them into Numis also. And I'll get into that probably in another day when we talk about what we do with our leads. And then number 6, they tell you to start the boot camp. But what I would do now is actually go back after you've watched all that and set up each step. If there's some call to action as to what you should do here. Watch the video, pause it, go do what it says. Maybe open up 2 browsers to do that, or 2 computer screens to do that. So then after that, you're at step 6. You're going to go click here to begin the boot camp. And what that is right here, all that simply is the same thing as step 2. So you can get to it one of 2 ways, through step 1 or do step 2, and always go in this order. I see they tell you for a reason, please do not skip ahead. I mean, it's so important. And all this is doing here, it's not necessarily telling you how to, all these different marketing methods. This is an actual boot camp to introduce you to how to market MLSP. So I always suggest that you go through this. The videos, are not that long. I'm not sure how long this one is, but this is going to introduce you to marketing MLSP. It's going to take you a little bit deeper into understanding attraction marketing. I think a lot of people are not able to grasp what attraction marketing is, so that's why it's important to go through this. What you're doing and what this system is doing for you is it's positioning you as a leader in the industry, so people will be attracted to you. It's how you guys probably found me. Or Bill, depending on who's on this call. But what it's doing is you're going to be attractive out there, and it's going to be because you've used this system. So you've got to be able to understand how to use it, how to put a marketing plan together, and how to integrate that online, and then how to integrate it into your network marketing business. So it's 5 minutes here.
Yeah, and the introduction is 5 minutes. What you guys might find from the marketing boot camp different from the original setup. The original setup, you can probably just do it in an evening, right? You can watch those videos, breeze through them, go back, set it up, maybe take you an hour long, right? Boom, that's a Monday night. Well, here you are now in the marketing boot camp. It's a little bit more detail, a little bit more intense. So you might find that, for example, you do one of these steps an evening, right? You want to be able to really spend the time. The videos are longer. Some of them might be 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour. And then you're also going to want to be able to digest that information. So don't look at this marketing boot camp and these 8 steps here that you see as something that you got to take as a crash course, 1 or 2 nights to get going. No, take your time, digest the information. It might literally take you 8 nights to get through all these 8 steps here, but it's worth it. As Michelle said, this is what's building the foundation for your business. And attraction marketing, what they're going to talk about, it is the art and the science of what we are doing. It's the art and the science behind getting people to come to you, to seek you out, to want to join you. So emphasizing these steps here is very important. You don't want to skip them. You don't want to go from starting at step 7 back to step 2. You want to go through the process, methodically go through it, digest it, absorb it, and then implement it down the road.
Yeah, and if step 1, makes a lot of sense to you and you've really digested it, feel free to go to step 2. I mean, for me, I had a little bit of experience online when I started this, so I was able to fly through it, but, don't feel bad like Bill is saying if it takes you 8 days to do it, it's okay. So step 1 is, understanding the attraction marketing. I want to say right now, I highly, highly recommend that you pay $39 and buy this Mike Dillard's magnetic sponsoring course. Again, if you guys don't know me that well, and we don't ever ask you to buy something unless it's completely necessary or we feel that it's important that you have it in your arsenal of tools, for your business, because the bottom line is this course explains what attraction marketing is so well. It's a nice little ebook that Mike Dillard puts together. It's $39. I still refer back to it. It's actually what gave me the light bulb moment that you hear about so much in our industry. It was Mike Dillard's magnetic sponsoring course, $39. I had this light bulb moment. I was like, oh, well, now it makes sense. I think he uses an analogy about, people don't want to buy the drill. They want to learn how to drill the hole. I mean, he really tried to drive home and explain how that works. So, I highly recommend you go through this. This free 7 video series on attraction marketing. That's just free stuff you can watch from Mike Dillard. Click on it, check it out. It's just important to go through that. And then you've got step 2 here. Is your primary income stream. So, again, you can just read this. It's important that you have a solid, high-converting primary income stream in your marketing strategy in order to maximize your efforts to put into it. So, basically, your primary income is Numis, guys. So, this is what this is going to go over. They're going to try to explain. It's 2 minutes. It's not that long. Introduction to affiliate programs. I think this gets a little confusing for guys. I think this is a bonus actually for everybody in here. I mean, there's a way to make over, 19 income streams in here. It's awesome. It's awesome to understand what all these affiliate programs are inside of here, guys.
And this step actually here, they basically walk you through the first 5 of the affiliate programs. The first one being, of course, MLSP, right? You're now an affiliate of MLSP and you can, recruit affiliates in underneath you. So they start you off in this step with just the first 5, just to get you going, not to overwhelm you, but making sure you have 5 of the, I guess, more primary affiliate programs set up in the system for yourself.
Yeah, and this might be a little confusing at first because you're like, okay, how does this apply to Numis? But just bear with me; it's all going to come together. Step 4, it's important you go through this. It's kind of a visual, strategy visual overview. Then you got step 5, integrating internet marketing and traditional prospecting. This is great. Mark Barrett, talks in this also. He gives a critical presentation on how to blend the online and offline strategies. A lot of people will say, hey, I'm an online marketer, but you do some offline marketing. That's because you're picking up the phone talking to people. Then you've got step 6, simple marketing strategy to get leads now. This is great, and you can come down here. I think it's important to download these beginner's marketing guide because they keep you on track. They tell you, if I were to open this up, it's going to tell you, if you're advanced, you're a beginner strategy. I mean, you're a beginner in the industry. They tell you some things that you could do if you're a beginner, which is great. If you're, oh, and then they also kind of give you goals, which is great. It's a little goal sheet. You can talk about if you've achieved it or not, talk about marketing plan. This is a great little layout here for you guys if you want something to follow and something to be held accountable for. And then, you know, the marketing, MLSP marketing schedule, click on that, you know, just print it off so you guys have it. You know, this is just going through what you're doing. And they talk about how to use these PDF files here, up here in this video. Then down here, if you're interested in doing meetup groups, this is kind of offline marketing. Casey Eberhardt, he has, you know, he does meetup groups. He's been very successful at it. He talks about how to do it. This is awesome to go through if you're interested in looking at that. Facebook prospecting. I know this is Ray Higdon's wife now. She has a different way of marketing on Facebook than I do, but if you have my course, you'll be fine. But this wouldn't hurt for you just to kind of see what she does, because she actually does it a different way by talking to people and getting to know them and friending them, as I'm more aggressive in generating leads. So you might just check that out also. It's 45 minutes. And then if you're interested in doing some Twitter, it's good to expose yourself to this. Even though you may not do Twitter, it's good to listen to Ray and kind of what he does with Twitter. And then top 10 lead generation techniques. So this is very important. This will take you a little longer to go through all that. And then we've got number 7, you know, your primary money-making activity. This, if you guys have not bought this course, oops, hang on. Let me go up here. This is actually a webinar with Ray right here. Isn't that correct? Mm-hmm. Ray is, and obviously we're all working with Ray and Numis, but he does some amazing prospecting and closing techniques on these webinars. It's good. I want you guys to definitely watch that, because it will fill in a lot of gaps when it comes to what to say to people on the phone. And then if you want more from him, you can buy his course right here. I'm not even sure. It may be like $297. I bought it. It's worth it. And then, you know, that's basically what all that section's about.
And guys, what you're going to find is that, like for example, the Wednesday night webinars Michelle referred to, and these you know, free videos and webinars in here, oftentimes there is going to be the person who created this trying to then sell you into their product at the end. All right, that is a reality of what you're going to see. But out of that hour-long video, or the hour-and-a-half long webinar, about 90 to 95% of the webinar will be content and training. Okay, so yes, the last 5-10 minutes they will try to pitch you on why and get you to buy it. Okay, as long as you can understand that you're going to get sold at the last 5 minutes, you can still get enormous value and learn a lot from the first 55 minutes or from the first 90% of the presentation. So again, I would strongly encourage you to don't be like, oh, they're just going to try and sell me. Who cares? Absorb what you can of the free information and start utilizing that, because it is really, really useful.
Well, and look at it this way too. This is an opportunity for you to make some affiliate sales. So like if you guys, on that webinar last Wednesday, if you guys had promoted that, well, I guess if you're watching this, it wasn't last Wednesday. If you're watching this at a later date, but my Facebook one, you know, you have an affiliate link for that. So that is an opportunity also for you to make some affiliate money too. So it's important to understand that. But, you know, I don't want you guys to think you have to buy everything. If you ever have a question, ask us. You know, because I didn't buy anything in the beginning but MLSP and my AWeber, and you know, I've built a business. But now, of course, I buy a lot of stuff because, you know, I'm at that point where I just want to, you know, we're ready to soak up more information. So this is just, you know, recruiting distributors into your primary opportunity. So that's going to be Numis now, and using MLSP. So they're going to go into, you know, talking about how to make that happen. And that's, you know, step 8. And then the next steps, after you've gone through these steps that I've shown you here, this is where you're done. I mean, you're pretty much done. I'm going to take you into another section here that I want to make sure you guys have set up. But basically, you're going to dig into marketing strategies. Now, here's where my coaching is going to come in here. I want to suggest to you guys that you pick one strategy. If you want to do Facebook marketing, make that your only marketing method. Focus on it and master it. If you want it to be blogging, I'm going to go into that in a later date too, in these calls. You know, we've got tools that you want to be able to have in place if you're going to do blogging. Focus on that and master it. I recommend either article marketing, blogging, Facebook marketing. Twitter marketing I don't think is enough, because you can actually put your Twitter on automation and not even ever worry about it. and maybe get a few leads here and there. But I don't want to ever say that you should focus on that. That should not be your only way to market. So I would say article marketing, Facebook marketing, blogging, maybe some solo ads, that's another option. And I'm very familiar with all those, and we can go into that on another day. But yeah, you definitely want to go through this, all this right here, and then click here to get into the advanced setup process. And what this section is going to talk about how to, I didn't even know this was here. Where do you find this? Is this under the account section?
Mm-hmm.
It is? Under profile settings? Let me see. Hang on, guys. Yeah, I'm not sure where that came up at. That's weird. MLSP affiliate account section. Sometimes they have like redundant links, but yet they're up here. So yeah, I mean, definitely on the next steps here, that's pretty important not to miss that. So let's see where this one goes. I think this one goes to all the, okay, I know where that one goes. All right. Oh, I know where that is. So that advanced training is underneath here. Probably, I'm not sure. I'm not going to go there yet. I don't want to confuse you guys. Marketing, let's go back to the marketing boot camp. All right, next steps. Where I want to go into after that is click in here to dig into the advanced setup. And what this is this is going to go through this account section here. And this is important that you get all this stuff set up also. So right here, it's going to talk about, you know, click here for the basic system setup. You know, you've got, we just went through all that, guys. Hang on, let me back up. All right. So if you go up in the account section, you can see, I'm not even going to go through all this, but I want you to watch this because these are the instructions, as you can see. So all this is very important that you go through this, but I'm going to start up here in the account section. This is where I recommend also going. Come back to that, but come under your profile settings and follow just each and every one of these right here. I'm not going to go into details on this unless, you know, there's some questions along the way, but I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what to put here. Security, I don't know if you guys remember when I first logged in, I had to actually put in a little code. You have to get this set up in order to be paid affiliate commissions inside of here. So you want to set that up. Notifications, that's self-explanatory. The About Me section, I hadn't even written anything about myself or Bill, so make sure you put something there.
Do better than we did.
Avatar, you know, this is just done through this Gravatar service. Just you click there, you go in there.
And Norbert talks all about this during the setup. He actually goes through each one of these tabs and explains to you how to do it. He explains the Gravatar, where to go, filling in the social links. I mean, it's very methodical and step by step. He literally does his own account. He sets up his own account. It's in the setup.
Okay. And then right here, social links, that's self-explanatory. My opportunity, you're going to end up adding, I put Numis in there. You're going to be able to put that in there. So back over to account, we know we did profile, affiliate programs. Now, it's going to tell you, you know, to do this part. Definitely do this. These are free accounts. You can, you know, get even though you may have like an AWeber account, you still need to sign up for their affiliate program. It's very important to get your IDs in here because in the emails that if somebody opts in and they receive an email from you and someone just, you know, sees a link in there on why getting a AWeber account is important, your link is going to be attached to that. So this is the way you can generate some income. So here, these are important to do. Now, it talks about this advanced in here. I say go ahead and do it, guys. Just get it set up. Right now, they're doing a big launch on the Elevation product, so this is a new one that's in here. I don't know if you guys have gotten emails, but you just come in here, you can get a free account, you know, affiliate account. Like this one costs, this viral URL, so I don't have one. I'm not interested in having one either. So Market Samurai costs money. That's a keyword research tool, but I'm not interested in getting that either. So some of these require you to actually buy the product to get an affiliate link, but just do the ones that are free, guys. It's just good to go ahead and have that in there. That's all that is.
And there is a section within the setup too where either Norbert or Brian, they'll actually show you they'll actually walk you through and do the first 4 with you. And then in the training, they'll recommend that you wait till later on to include all the rest of them, which is fine. I guess that's up to you. But you know what you got to realize, and this is so important, is that you know you're not going to make a full-time income from these affiliate links at all, right? But what if you were to make an extra 50 or 100 or 300 bucks a month? I mean, you're really doing nothing. You're filling in a little bit of information here, and anytime someone buys any of these products through your site, they're cooking to you, you're going to get paid. It's, in a way, it's free money. Now, what if that were to come in, you don't even expect it, but boom, maybe there's your advertising budget for the month. So you got to look at MLSP as a way to generate funds to help grow your business, to maybe carry the overhead of just your business expenses.
Yeah, and sometimes you might run across somebody that you're talking to that says, "Hey, can you recommend, a good site to host my website at?" And you can say, "Yeah, absolutely. Let me get you my affiliate link if you don't mind." You come in here and you copy it, you give it to them, and you tell them to go sign up for HostGator, and you make an affiliate sale. So you can use those. And I also want to take you guys to take note that on every single page here, guys, there's instructions, little videos here. So, notice that on every page. If you get stuck on what do I do on a page, there are some instructions here, little videos. So then the next thing, this is where I'm going to walk you through or show you what's important here, but autoresponders. This is important to tie in your autoresponder to MLSP, because if you don't tie in your autoresponder to this, what's going to happen is all your leads are going to be in here on your leads and not actually in your Aweber. I use Aweber, so I'm going to talk about Aweber and not get response. So all my leads are also in here, and what happens is now is I own my list. So now I'm able to email these people stuff on my own. I don't have to actually rely just on MLSP, because they own my leads. They're going to send things out to the leads. No, now I can massively send out to 2,900 people an email that may not even be in reference to MLSP. So that's the importance of owning your own list. So I want to highly recommend that you click here to sign. Oh, not that, sorry. You can click there to sign up if you haven't done that, but come over here and toggle the instructions. And it's going to bring down this long page, and if you're doing Aweber, which is what I use, you just follow these little videos. It's very simple. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give you this code that you're going to end up entering into your Aweber to actually get all these follow-up emails that MLSP gives you. So these emails are nothing that I've written. These are the autoresponder emails. I've actually customized some of mine, and the way you do that is once you enter that code. And again, I'm not going to go into all the details of it because the instructions are here, but this is how you get these follow-up emails. If somebody opts into my capture page, they're going to get this very first email here. And if I didn't like what it said, I just click on it, and I can come over here and just kind of reword it and customize it in my own words if I want to. You don't have to do that right now, guys, but if for some reason you get to the point you have some extra time, customize it a little bit into your own words, and you just click save. And that's going to change up those emails for you. So that's what the importance of doing this section is right here, guys. You want to tie it together, and the way you do that is, again, just follow those instructions by adding your autoresponder. Now, this is just for your MLSP only. This isn't going to be for your Numis yet, and I'll get into that in a moment. The next section is your primary program. We've talked about that. Make sure that you go through here. Mine's right here. That's not mine, sorry, that's my sponsor in MLSP. But, I've added mine in here. This is my Numis one. You just follow the instructions again. They're all right here in order to set that up. So that's very important that you set that up. Credit cards, membership, subscription. I'm not going to go through all that. Just go through each one of these, guys. I will go through this part. Domain hosting. This is very important that you do this section, and the reason why is see if you can see, if you ever wonder, if you go to my current MLMsecrets.com, I've got an MLSP capture page assigned to that. If you don't host your own domain with MLSP, you're going to end up getting a website URL that looks like this, sevenfiguremastermindteam.com/Malfa, or you're going to get these long numbers. If I go to this, and I'll get into the second, you're going to get I've already got it assigned, so it's not going to show you, but you would get this long URL, and that's not going to be attractive to people when you give them your actual website. So you want to host a domain with MLSP. It's important that you do that. So I have several actually done, but you only need one because you can create subdomains. So again, that's under the domain hosting, and then the domain page configurations, or how you add those little subdomains. And I'm going to get into that in a moment of how you're going to assign those. So that's the basics, guys, of setting up MLSP. I mean, I don't think that, I need to go into details of how to do each section, because everything is on there on the page that says how to do all this. You guys are getting the same tools I got when I first started out. It's all there, and that's exactly what I've used. So just make sure that you've covered all that and you've watched all that. It's very important. Now, the next step that, I don't even want you guys to worry about all this training yet. Don't even go in there yet. But the next thing that is so important for you guys to do is to come over here and create a campaign. This is not explained, so this is something that's that you guys might want to write down and make sure that you take this process. But I always say come into campaign management here. The easiest one to start with is free presentation. So what you're going to do, again, you're going to go right here to the right, create a new campaign. I'm going to walk you through it. Here is a tutorial on it, just in case you're confused on what I'm saying here. Only worry about where the stars are. So I'm just going to call this free presentation test page, because this isn't really going to be what I'm using, but for you guys, name it whatever you want. Don't worry about any of this other stuff right now, but do the stars. So we're going to call it something, free presentation test page. And you got to pick a group theme. I always, it doesn't matter really what you pick here. I would say go with one of these, these top two, maybe simple. That's a good one. And you can look at it. So if I pick this black background that's red lettering, I'll show you how you can look at it in a second. But the lead page template, I always tell everybody just go with this free presentation one. It converts, it's great, it doesn't have Norbert's video in it. It converts well. I used it in the very beginning. You can click preview here to see what it's going to look like. And this is what your capture page would look like, okay? Because I just clicked preview. That's what you're going to use to capture leads. So if I didn't like that background, I could change it to simple and then preview it again. And now we're looking at just kind of a plain page. But it's got the same everything else on it. Yeah. All right, don't pick a welcome template because it's going to have Norbert's video on it. I don't want you guys worrying about customizing things yet. So don't pick that. Then come to the sales template and pick free presentation intro again. And what this is going to do when you click preview, this is your sales page. This is the page they're going to see after they opt in. So this is it right here. And it's going to go over the system. Now mine is actually customized right now, so you guys don't get confused on that. You can just use this for now. We can get into customization later on down the road, but this is I want to go through this week to get you set up the fastest. Don't worry about the advanced option. This is if you're split testing. We're not going to worry about that. If you set up your autoresponder, like we did earlier, you'll see a drop-down box here. And you're going to want to assign it to that autoresponder list that you put over in that section. So mine is MLSP 77. That's actually what I've got mine labeled up here. That's what my list is called. So I've assigned it. So you just save the campaign. And now you have a capture page to go market. Okay, so I have a bunch here, but you're going to only have one at first. So here it is. So we're going to click on it, and let me show you something here. So we've clicked on it, and what I'm going to show you is you can click on this magnifying glass to actually see it. We've already looked at it, but this is what it looks like. I always want to suggest that you test the page, opt in, make sure you actually get an email from yourself to make sure your autoresponders work, and make sure that you go to a sales page. So you want to do that. Test it out. Now notice, look, I've got this long URL. Okay? I don't want that. So what I would have to do is come over to domain page configurations or domain hosting. It just depends what you have. I'm not going to be able to do it because I don't have a new account. But you would basically set up page configurations for your hosting, and you would assign it. See, I can't do it, but you guys are, let me go in here, hang on. You can actually assign the domain that you got hosted with MLSP to that particular capture page. What it's going to do is it's going to give you an option to pick it. See how right here, this one is, I want to assign it. I'm actually assigning a subdomain in this particular situation, but I want to assign it to a campaign, and then I would come down here and I would pick free presentation test page, that one we just created. All right, guys, so that's what that does there. It's kind of advanced, but you know, I want you guys to understand how to assign it so you don't have this long URL. While that URL will still work, you want to get yourself a nice pretty URL that's not long like that. So let's go back to this. Now if you were to click on this again, you can actually customize this capture page. Here's where you would say, yes, I want to ask for a phone number. No, I don't want to ask for a Skype. The Twitter offer training, what happens is if they try to close out of the capture page, a little pop-up will happen offering them one last chance to get an offer. I usually say no on that. You click Save Settings. If you want to change up the headline, you just come in here and type whatever you want. If you want to change up free how to get 19 checks per month, you can type whatever you want there. All this is, you know, just customizable. I don't necessarily recommend doing this right away, but I just want you to know this is available. You know, yeah, so it's all available. I'm not going to go into even more advanced stuff. I just want you to know this stuff's available there. All right, so now you have a capture page created. The next thing you've got to do now is market it, okay? But let's back up for a moment and, you know, talk about setting up your actual Numis capture page. So mine is bestmlmcoins.com. I have instructions on the blog, and I'm going to go to that also. Let me make sure this is setting up your Numis capture page. If you want to use something like this, now you don't have to. You can actually, let me go over here. You can actually come over to your Numis site and log in and pick one of these here. There's some great little capture pages here that you can send people to. So say I want to use Numis 1. If you already have Numis, you're going to have this here. So this is fine. This is capture pages just fine if you want to use that. I don't recommend you marketing these pages, guys. My only reason for you having a Numis page is to have something to send somebody to who is interested already. Get them in front of a presentation. So that's the only reason why I would recommend, you know, maybe somebody's retail and they want to shop Numis. Use these sites, send them to it. But your main way to market your business online is going to be that capture page that we created here in MLSP. That's going to be your way to market. The only reason why you would use these Numis ones, again, is just to get somebody in front of a presentation. So let me go over to my blog real quick. All right, so under Numis Team Training right here, if you click on that, all right. Make sure, now I am updating this right now, guys. I'm trying to incorporate Ray's stuff in here too. But, you know, add yourself, I don't know why that's not showing up, but you want to add yourself to my actual email autoresponder. So if I send an email out to the team, I'll have you on it. And then step 2, going through the Numis, you know, training video. You're going to want to watch that. I don't even know, this may have worked. I was having internet problems last night, you know. Obviously it's not working. So I'll get that. Yeah, I'll get that set up. But what I want to show you is, be sure to write this down. So Ray, I'm going to put it all on here, but depending if mine's not working yet, you want to go to numisgrowth.com. All right, so at this point, I'm not going to go much longer through today because I think this is enough to process, but at this point, we've got MLSP set up. You've got your capture page. We haven't chosen a marketing method yet, but we're going to get to that on another day. But I want you to think about how you want to market. So what I want to happen now is to make sure you go through all this training. So this is Ray Higdon's page. He's, you know, my sponsor. We work together. And I think it's so important that you guys go through this stuff. So you want to get on his list too, so you're receiving all his emails. Now up here is the reason why you should get the accelerator package. Just follow his instructions here. Go through all this. Get yourself added to the Facebook group. Typically I add you, but I may not have been able to for some reason. You want to listen to his audio. You want to listen to his Numis fast track training. The good thing is a lot of his stuff is also some offline stuff and how to talk to people, how to tap into your warm market now, how to approach them now, how to get your Numis business off the ground fast. So go through all his stuff here. Again, I'm going to transfer this over to my page, but right now it's numisgrowth.com, and go through all this stuff that you see right here. Now, I would say at that point, go through here also where to send your prospects. That's good too. I'll explain that in a moment. But all this stuff right here, you don't have to go through this Numis network training there. It's going to be a lot of redundant stuff, but don't worry about that too much. But definitely go through the first part. If you have some time, go ahead. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is just, Ray's mindset type of stuff. This is good. The compensation plan, you might want to check that out so you understand it a little more. Don't get too worried about it if you don't. Recruiting tips. There's a few things in here, but this is a lot of info right here. I don't want you to get bogged down on the main part. And again, I'm going to put it on my blog, so you guys, this is the main part I want you to go through. So once you go through that, you come back over here, and I talk about, links, reference in the, Numis video, MLSP. Okay, the main thing I want you guys to come to next, though, is we're going to set up your MLSP funnel. And if you just click on this link here, and that's that best MLM coins a second ago I thought I just had. I guess I might have closed it. But you click on here, and this is going to give you the instructions to how to set up a website like I just showed you guys. It's 2 videos, I think, here. It tells you how to link it to MLSP. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up getting a website like this. And if you don't want to mess with this, it's okay, because you can use the Numis websites that you see. Let me pause that. That you see on your actual...
Hi there, my name is Michelle.
Hello. That you actually have on your Numis... I've closed it out again. In your back office of Numis, all your Numis websites. But this is good to have... Thought you were looking at me. This is good to have if you want to have a page like I just showed you guys. Why do I keep losing it? So weird. It's the best in my... Oh, there it is. I have it open like 3 times. All right, so that's it. Now, here's what's going to happen, though, guys. If you go through this setup right here, you're going to end up having a video of Ray here, I believe. So you're going to want to, if you want, you can leave Ray there. If not, make your own video here. And I give instructions on how to replace a video with your own video, and it's all done inside of MLSP. And once you have it set up, let me just show you my websites. Campaign management. What's going to happen is once you follow those instructions that I talked about on this page right here, from that link from my blog, our blog, you're going to end up having this right here, campaign. See, it says Numis. If I were to click on it and click on it again, you're going to have the option. See, right now, the video default was Ray. You're going to have the option to put your own video in here. But that's going to require you recording a video in YouTube, coming over to your MLSP, coming in here where it says My Videos and Audios, and actually putting that Numis video you just recorded into MLSP here. You've got to add it right here, add the video. Again, there are instructions up here. Toggle the instructions. It's all right there. It kind of tells you what each term means. It's not real hard. That's why there's not a video. And you just name it. Name it Numis. You want to make that a lead for your lead capture page. You want to come in here and say YouTube if you uploaded it to YouTube. And you're going to put the URL there, and you're going to add the video. Once you add the video, what's going to happen is when you're in that campaign you just created for Numis, right here, you're going to have an option now to pick that video to be on your capture page. So hopefully that's going to make sense for you guys. So if I uploaded it and I called it Numis, there it is, Numis. Now, notice, this is for if you guys are, thinking outside the box right now. You see all these other videos here? That's the exact same way that you can change out videos on all those other capture pages that we created or that you've seen. It's the same thing. You upload a video. So as you come over here and you were to take a look at my current, do not get bogged down on this, guys, though, in the very beginning. I'm just going to show this to you for in the future, but if you look, this is my video right here on that. This is the free presentation template. I've actually changed up some of the wording and I stuck my own video on there. So that's how that happens. Let me go back here. I know it's in here. That's how you change out the videos, guys. But for right now, Numis, if you want to change your own, that's how you're going to do it. All right, so now you should have a Numis capture page if you elected to do that, or you're using one outside of in your back office from Numis Network. Number 2, you should now have a capture page that we are going to now market. That's the key. Is this making sense so far to go along, Bill?
Absolutely.
I'm having Bill. If you have some questions, I don't know if you're still on here. If you have some questions, oh, we got Lynn on here too. Awesome. If you guys have some questions along the way, right now, I'd like to kind of wrap up today because I know this is a lot to process. But if you have some questions now, I want to answer those because I know that I went through a lot. But the goal of today was to get your marketing system set up. So we've done that through all the instructions I just told you guys in the beginning of this webinar. If you guys got on late for some reason, you're going to be able to go back and watch it. It'll take me about an hour to convert this and get it out to you guys. But what the goal of today is to get MLSP set up, get you to understand how you're using MLSP, why you're practicing attraction marketing, get your very first website set up, ready to market, because now, tomorrow, we're going to take that capture page and we're going to dive into marketing that capture page, okay? So you've done that. You now have your either Numis website that you've set up off of my blog right here. You followed those instructions and you have a Numis capture page. So now you have a place to send somebody. I'm going to have to come in here and correct a few things. I was talking to Cheryl a second ago. There are some links in the list settings when you go into more details of connecting Aweber to your new capture page in Numis. We're going to fix that, and I'm going to tell you what to put in those spots on here. The next thing I'm going to go through also, make sure you're added to the Facebook group. And while I'm at this part, the Facebook group, let me tell you guys, this is so important that you guys come in here and interact. If you ever have any kinds of questions at all, you come in here and you ask the questions. This is what this group's for. You can see we've got a lot of people that are interacting with each other here. Just come in here and ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to these guys. I'm in here, Bill's in here. Sometimes we're just on the phone and we can't get off, but we can multitask and get in here and answer questions. Come in here and definitely plug in here. You can also come over to Ray's group, which I put that link on here also. Ray's Numis group. Make sure, I usually add you guys in here manually, but come in here and interact. This is a great place to get your questions answered if we're not available, and I want to highly encourage that you use this and leverage it. You'd be surprised at how quickly you can get some very simple questions answered without having to try to track us down for some reason.
The other good thing about the Numis Facebook group, there's also an MLSP Facebook group that we have. So if or when you get with us with MLSP, you can also get into the MLSP Team Mastermind group. So it's great for a lot of reasons, though. Michelle just said, getting your questions answered real quick. Sometimes we're busy all during the day, but Michelle and I might be on Facebook at midnight. Right? Clearly, it's not appropriate to call us at midnight, but we might be able to answer your question that you posted 4 hours earlier at midnight just from sitting here on the couch on our laptop. The other thing, though, is that we're in the network marketing industry, right? This is about networking. Just by interacting within these groups, you can start building your brand in a way. You're going to be networking with other people, obviously like-minded people. Granted, they might be in your very same primary, in the example of Numis, but maybe in the MLSP Team Mastermind group, let's say over time you start providing a lot of value. You're actually in there answering people's questions. You're becoming a figure and a main player within this group. People are honestly going to start gravitating towards you. You can use the more you start to learn and the more you start to interact and the more then in return value you start to provide, you're going to establish yourself as an authoritative figure, someone that people want to go to, and you never know. That might lead to partnerships or business opportunities down the road just from your interaction within these groups. So again, I would highly encourage you to get in them immediately, start interacting, asking questions, helping out, being part of the group. It's going to only benefit you.
Okay, and Cheryl, yes, if I didn't make that clear, yeah, you're only marketing MLSP. You know, I've found that, I don't mean you're marketing just to sell MLSP. You're marketing this capture page that we created in whatever method you choose. If it's going to be, you know, if you go to the bottom of my blog in our signature, you know, well, this particular one we don't. But if you were to go on one of our actual articles that I just recently wrote, you'll see our MLSP capture page at the bottom. I've got it on the side here for somebody to opt into. This right here is, yes, MLSP capture page. So, and yes, I am marketing just MLSP. I find that if you're just marketing, you know, Numis, the problem that you're going to have with that is unless somebody has never heard of Numis, yeah, then maybe you'll have a good chance of getting them in there. But the easiest route or the path that most people take is when they discover something is they're going to do research. So what are they going to do? I mean, they're going to come over here to Google or, you know, Yahoo. They're going to type in Numis. Even though they saw your ad or you've marketed it, they're going to come in here and they're going to go, oh, okay, Numis Network. And they're going to kind of read about it. And they're going to say, oh, what's this? Numis Network scam. Let me check this out. Well, I know for a fact this is Jonathan Budd's site. So what's going to happen is they're going to end up on Jonathan Budd's site. Then they're going to fall down the rabbit hole of all of Jonathan Budd's trainings. Or David Wood here, look at that. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have lost them, especially if they didn't put a phone number in. And then Jonathan Budd's going to end up recruiting them somehow. Not into Numis. He's not in Numis. He's doing something else, but he's going to end up bringing them in. Or if they do want a leader, they're going to realize, oh, David Wood's in Numis. Let me just join him. So that's why I don't ever recommend just promoting your Numis page unless for some reason you have talked to somebody on the phone that's actually interested in it. Then send them to that. So these capture pages for Numis are just simply there for you to put maybe on your fan page as your opportunity. It's simply there for people who are curious and want to see what you are doing. Remember I showed you in the beginning, or maybe I didn't show it on here, but in my signature line, I've got Numis Network on there. You know, just discover our MLM opportunity, and I've got that best MLM coins capture page, wherever that went. I probably already closed it out, the one we created here. So that's all it's really used for. That's my recommendation on that. So think of it this way. You have one capture page that we created in MLSP. That's the page that we're going to go out and we're going to market. And that's where you're going to start generating leads, because without leads, you don't have a business. So the goal is to get people into MLSP, get them to opt into that form, because now you've got a lead. And probably on day 3 is where we're going to dive into what we're going to do with those leads. You know, how we're going to talk to them, how we're going to bring them actually into Numis. Okay?
And I think you know, a different way or another way to look at it is that if you were to just only brand yourself Numis, 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 and you led everything with Numis, your Facebook fan page only talked about Numis, all your lead capture pages were just Numis oriented. Well, how much value can you provide to a person who's out there looking for an opportunity or looking for mentorship or looking to generate more leads if all you're recognized as someone who's just going to sell them Numis, right? What you want to do is brand yourself and attract. This is the principles of attraction marketing, and that's what these MLSP capture pages do. You want to brand yourself as someone who can solve their problem, be an authoritative figure, someone who has the answers to what they're looking for. Most likely just gold and silver coins aren't going to be the answer to what they're looking for. You know, the answer, what they're looking for is going to be leadership, mentorship, more leads, a system. Gradually, that will then, hopefully you'll funnel them into Numis, but you want to lead, and if you'll notice all of the MLSP capture pages, they're looking to solve a problem for someone. They're a very compelling message. Is this what you're struggling with? Then here's the answer. Are you finding this to be a problem? Well, here's your solution. And it's offering them something free value, a free video, teaching them how, and that's what gets them into your funnel to be an MLSP lead. And from what you do with the lead from there, obviously, is up to you. Recruit them into Numis, sell them on MLSP, whatever. But to just lead with Numis only, you would be pigeonholing yourself and cutting yourself off to only a tiny, tiny segment of someone who just may happen to just be interested in Numis out of the blue. And that's really what you want to avoid, just being totally Numis-centric and become much more broad to people as someone that can help them out, solve their problems, and go from there.
Yeah, because what you're doing with the Numis page, if you just advertise that, what you're taking into consideration is if somebody were to view that, you're planting a seed in their head that maybe they should look at a gold and silver opportunity. Instead, it's better to go after struggling network marketers using an MLSP capture page and answer a problem they're having, which is they're struggling online. So once you pick up the phone, and I'll go into that in another day, and we talk to these people, I'm going to give examples of what happens is you're going to find they're struggling to build a business online. And what better way to help them is to get them into MLSP and into Numis with us so we can mentor them. You know, and eventually you're going to be at the point where you're going to be able to help them too. And you're going to be able to answer. A lot of times it goes deeper than just trying to build a business online. It goes into they don't have an upline to help them out. Their upline doesn't believe in online marketing, or they're not making any money, or they don't have support. So we're going to answer their problem with a solution, and that's going to be Numis, leveraging myself, Bill, Ray Higdon, until you're ready to just run on your own too and don't need to leverage. But that's the whole goal of building this business. The key also I want to point out here, I always come to this, I will fix this up either today or tomorrow, but this is some more options that you can send people to. If people are already in the network marketing industry and you've talked to them on the phone and they want to see a Numis presentation, use this link here and you're going to replace Malfa with your Numis username. This is a recorded webinar done by Ray. If people have never ever been in the network marketing industry, send them to this one. This webinar is geared towards people who have not been in it. So always come back here if you're looking for links. They're here. And then that's pretty much it on here. And again, I'll get this all fixed up. So I'm gonna pull up this little text. Well, no, I didn't. This little text editor. So let's just recap. So we've set up MLSP. That's what I want you guys to make sure that you've gone through this video again. Watch it. Make sure you have everything set up correctly. Make your very first lead capture page in MLSP. Notice that I did not go into all this stuff here. System campaigns, I didn't do that. I went right into campaign management. That's what I want you guys to make sure you have that set up. Number 2, go ahead and decide if you're going to do, what Numis website you want to have. I mean, if you want to just use the ones right out of your back office, that's fine. If you want to create one like I did, you got the instructions now on how to do that. So after all that is complete, I mean, the goal of each day is I don't want to overload you. I want you to be at the end of the day, watch this, be done, and be ready for the next day tomorrow. But I want you now, after you get that stuff set up, to think about how you want to market. You can, after you get everything set up, you can come in here and take a look at some of the marketing strategies right here in MLSP. You can take a look and familiarize yourself with some of these different marketing strategies and decide what appeals to you, because what's going to happen is I want you to pick one and we're going to master it. I can help you with the blogging, I can help you with article marketing, solo ads, Facebook marketing, but I highly recommend you not do. In fact, I should make it mandatory that you not do them all. We're going to pick one and we're going to master it. And this may be the point, day 2 or 3 that, some of you guys on here are going to watch a different webinar because I'll be doing Facebook, or a different webinar because it's going to be blogging. Either way, pick one. Think about that tonight. So when we get back on the call again tomorrow, we're going to have some things done and ready. First, we'll answer questions in the beginning, just in case you stumbled upon some things. Today, I want your action plan to be to get all this done, follow up with what I just did here and what Bill and I talked about. If you have some questions, ask myself, ask the group, ask Bill. Start with the group first, and then tomorrow I want you guys to be ready. I want you guys to be ready to now mark it. All right, so if there's not any other questions here, and I made myself really clear, that's all I have. If you got on late, I'm going to have this all rendered up, and I will post it. I'll post it back on my blog here under the team training. I'll put it underneath there. So then after 5 days, they're going to all be on here. It's going to be great. It's going to be super for you guys also to leverage and be able to tell your people that you're trying to recruit into Numis, hey, we've got step-by-step training. Here it is. It's just going to be good for you to leverage. So that's all I have. Do you have anything else, Phil?
No, just, again, we kind of threw a lot at you here. I'm on my third cup of coffee, so I know I was talking fast. Michelle's talking fast. Take time to digest this. Re-listen to the recording again once we get it up. Definitely, like we said, go through the MLSP training. Take the time, take the initiative, set it up. These are a lot of steps here that we're going to be going through. And in order for day 2 to make sense, you got to kind of have to have conquered day 1. In order for then day 3 to make sense, you're going to have to have conquered day 1 and 2. So, what we're asking of you is that you now follow through, follow up, take care of your end of it. And that'll make then the next subsequent days a lot more worthwhile to you.
Yeah, and that's the goal for me here, guys, is to make sure that we take little chunks at a time to where you're not overwhelmed. Even some of you guys may already have this stuff done, and that's okay. But if I were to throw in some more, there's more advanced strategies I could go into, but it's so important for me to make this make sense in your mind and that you follow these steps exactly to where you're just biting off a little bit at a time to process so you're ready to move on to the next step and not get overwhelmed. So that's all I have, guys. I appreciate you. Let's get to work, and we'll probably do this about the same time tomorrow. If you have to miss it, again, I'll have it recorded. Give me about an hour, and I'll get this recording out to you guys. So I appreciate it, and thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.